if you insist on making us all managers. I work for a company that has 5 stores. The main store has 50 employees, and about 40 of them are managers of something. I'm talking literally everything in their warehouse. They have a shipping manager, a receiving manager, an equipment manager, a rental manager, a stocking manager, and a sales manager. I work at the second biggest store with 22 employees. We had a manager and an assistant manager until about a month ago. The other 3 stores between 8 and 3 employees each. My manager was trying to climb her way up recently, so she was structuring our whole store like the main one. Roughly a month ago, my manager brought in 3 of us who work in the warehouse. The most senior worker was told he was going to be the manager of shipping and receiving. I was going to be the salesperson manager, the slowest part of the job, and the new guy was going to be the rental equipment manager. I voiced my opinion to the manager that I'm the one who did 75% of the shipping and receiving. Shipping and receiving included checking in new product, calling customers when special orders came in, and making sure things were sent out. UPS picks up 95% of our shipping. The other 5% needs to be set up with a shipping company and is usually for expensive items or things that need to be there timely. My manager said that wasn't my responsibility and I needed to focus on helping out salesmen and not worry about shipping or receiving. So the new shipping and receiving manager had 3 major flaws, and they were not getting items sent out, calling people when their items come in, and talking to our purchasing lady when the wrong items came in. We had a $20,000 order come in that needed to go out immediately. My manager came and told me about it. I said I'd let the shipping manager know. I told him with about an hour left instead of fully knowing he wouldn't. He didn't set it up. 2 days later, my manager asked why didn't it get sent out. I told her I didn't know and had to ask our shipping manager. A week later, we had an order for 2 truck loaders, about $65,000 each, a huge sale, about a month's worth of sales from a company that usually made up about 35% of our annual sales. We guaranteed 2 weeks delivery since we didn't keep 2 in stock. They were our biggest clients, and the manufacturer told us we'd have 1 in a week, and we had 1 stocked. My manager came to me and told me that they had to be there next Friday no matter what. Once again, I passed on the message, fully thinking the shipping manager wouldn't get them sent out. When the second one came in, it was actually a smaller model. He checked it in as the wrong loader. Instead of telling anyone, I said nothing, and he didn't fix the error. Surprisingly, he actually sent them out. Monday rolls around, and my manager come back screaming at me, asking why they got 2 different loaders. I told her I didn't know anything about it, and to ask our shipping manager. I told her that I had only been loading the salesman, and that I didn't check in anything or sent anything out since it wasn't part of my job anymore. She yelled at me that the shipping manager wasn't reliable enough, and I should have paid more attention to such an important order. I told her I was told to work on the salesman and not the shipping or receiving, so I don't. We ended up losing our biggest client throughout the company. When the owner asked me why I didn't get them sent out, I acted like I knew nothing about it at all, pointing out my title and the other guy was the shipping and receiving manager. My manager and the shipping and receiving manager both ended up getting fired over it, and I got a new guy in the warehouse and I became the only warehouse manager. To top it all off, my job has become much easier since we no longer have to cater to the needs of our biggest client. So this first one has a few things I want to touch base on. First off, great story. However, I want to look at it from a business perspective. You lost a client that was 35% of your yearly profit, all to just get back at your manager at the cost of both the company and the guy the manager put in charge. Now, when I say it like that, does it sound a little wrong? Think about it this way. If the company were to ever find out in some form or fashion that you, as an individual that works under them, was the exact cause as to why this situation happened, you'd be fired too. Malicious compliance or not, this still falls on you. Though, yeah, it's a great story. I feel that this one kind of pushed a boundary where if a company loses 35% of their yearly profit from losing one client because of your, I guess, grudge? I don't like this particular story. It feels very selfish more than anything. I don't know how to feel about it. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Sister tries to bum work off me. All right, I'll do it. Sorry about formatting in English. I suck at both. But it's a short story and I don't care. Background. I have a twin sister and a brother that are much older. I was about 13. The summer had just started, and I was content wasting away my time in a cool basement out of the sun and the heat. My brother, on the other hand, was getting ready for a week-long festival. He was running around and had to do a bunch of laundry. During one of the few breaks from the chill of the basement to get food, I heard my brother ask my sister to finish his laundry. Like one load, by a certain time for like $2. So later that afternoon, my sister decided she wanted to go hang out with some friends. So she asked me to put the laundry from the washer to the dryer. I said if you give me $1, which she refused. But I agreed to move the laundry. After she leaves, the washer finishes. So I decide that if I don't get any money, no one gets any money. And I do exactly as she asked and put the clothes in the dryer without turning it on. Later, my sister asked my brother for her $2, which he refused as she didn't finish his clothes. This is a cute one. This one's just some sibling rivalry with a dash of capitalism. It's a great little tiny story. Obviously, don't dump chores that were given to you to your kid brother in hopes to gain money from your older brother. I mean, she deserved it. Honestly, at the end of the day, she did. All right, I'll park on the street. Okay, so I have an event to share. It wasn't grand, nobody clapped, and the police was only slightly involved. But I felt so good that I wanted to share it. English is my fourth language, so just go over the mistakes. A little filler before I start. I live on a street that connects with a heavy traffic one, but it's a bit tight. So it fits about 3 cars, width-wise, or a truck in a car, but still, one has to be mindful when passing through to make sure they fit. One house down on the other side of the street, there is an apartment building, and that was the reason for me to comply. There was a new family moving in last week. As most of the residents in my street have been living there for ages, we usually go out and greet whoever is moving in. These people weren't the type to be nice neighbors, though. Not only did they not make eye contact when I was trying to greet them and say something like, "Welcome to the neighborhood," or whatever, they simply ignored and proceeded to do what they were doing as if nothing had happened. Now, alright, I'm not one to insist on anything with anyone, so I just thought, they can very well live by themselves so nobody will bother them. I find out later that nobody really liked them, and they had been rude and snobby ever since they came to check out the apartment. On the day of their moving, I happened to have to go out for a meeting. I work from home, and those are so rare I don't even get enough time to get back to my house after they are over. When I arrived, their moving truck seemed to have just parked. The engine was still running, and it was blocking my garage. To clear it up a bit better, my garage entrance is aligned to the front of my neighbor's, so we can both maneuver our cars better. And the truck had taken half of his entrance. Like I said, there is a heavy traffic street connected to mine, so it's normal for people to park on my street and walk to the main one. And there was another car across the street that was keeping me from being able to properly get mine to where it should be. I see the guy standing there beside the moving truck, so I get out and try to ask him to move the truck, like a meter down, so I could park inside, and the following conversation happens. And as my neighbor, MD is the moving driver, MG1 is the moving guy, and MG2 is the other moving guy. Hello, good afternoon. Hi. Could I ask you to have the truck move down for just a minute so I can get my car inside? Just maneuver around it. I can't. The other car is barring me as well. Have the other car move then. But the truck is still running and I just need a half a minute to do. Look, if you can't drive, maybe you should take an Uber next time. Then he proceeded to walk toward the truck and ignore me. I don't really want, nor do I need to park on a street, so I decided to try the driver since he was standing right there, and the truck was still running. They hadn't even opened the cargo part yet. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah?
Look, I live in the house just across the street, and I was just wondering if you could pull the truck back just for a minute.
You can just maneuver around it.
I can't. The other car is blocking me, and I don't know who it belongs to.
Look, you can just wait till we're finished.
But you still have the engine running, and it won't take even a minute.
Just wait until we're finished and we'll leave.
Look, girl, if we move, it'll be harder to take the things out of the truck. Just wait until we're done.
Note that it was about 1 single meter down, that they were just too lazy and wanted the truck to be aligned with the building's entrance. I note at this point that the driver has moved to the cabin and turned the engine off. He came out with the smuggest grin. It gave me the worst kind of shivers. And the other two snickered a little and walked away to talk to the neighbor. The driver then comes to me and says,
"Just park on the street. You can come back when we're done."
And goes to join the others, all looking very satisfied with themselves. So being the good kid I am, I decided to obey their command. I'm just a young woman who can't drive after all. So I park right in front of my house. It was vacant, as the truck was blocking the street, and if someone parked there, nobody else would be able to go through. Not my problem though. I can't drive, remember? I may have done the best parking job of my life that day and just lock my car and get inside. I knew traffic would start to pick up soon, as it was almost the end of lunch period and people would be getting back to their activities. My street is one of the many shortcuts, and it's normal that we have traffic patrol come around many times a day. About half an hour after I get inside, I start hearing very loud, very angry, and very amusing car horns. Some people shouting to get the truck out. At this point, they were already taking the furniture out and never noticed where I really parked. This is where I get my satisfaction when I hear the driver shout,
What the frick? The girl parked there? Where is she to remove that effing car?
And more angry drivers shouting at him to just move the damn truck to let them through. Right then, 2 patrolling officers passed by. Nobody called them. It was just time for the rounds. And see that too many cars were honking. A lot of angry people were getting out of their vehicles, and a massive truck was very wrongly parked, blocking everyone from passing by. I hear the officers telling the guy to move his truck. He tries to argue that it's
the frickin' girl's fault. She parked her car there.
And the officers just tell him that he is the one not properly parked, and was to move his truck right away to stop blocking the traffic. At that point, I had already come outside. I decided to come out when I heard someone shout something about the police, to witness a very angry driver turn his truck back on and move the effing thing down the 1 meter I asked before and get it parked properly. The officers then go on their way and traffic moves again. Like I said, nobody clapped and the police was just mildly involved. They really just happened to show up. TLDR, truck driver parks badly, blocking my garage entrance. I ask him to move. He tells me I can't drive and I just park on the street. I follow and he moves his truck anyways when the police shows up. This one was really good. I like this one. It's a little bit of pro-revenge in there. Less malicious compliance, but more revenge. I kind of liked it because she didn't just take the car and put it somewhere else. She took the car and put it in the most inconvenient place possible for that truck. And it was their fault. It was their fault. Literally, if the car's still on and the people are there, it shouldn't have been a big deal just to move the truck. Just move the truck. Just move the damn truck. I don't know why it was such a difficult task to just move that truck. At the end, nobody got in trouble, and it didn't really terribly inconvenience anybody. It did inconvenience a lot of people trying to get down the street. Again, this time, it really wasn't 100% her fault. She parked legally. They didn't. This all could have been completely avoided if they just moved the truck. That's all you got to do. Move the truck. I don't know what form of entitlement people have nowadays where they feel that they're more important than you, because this is not just centralized in the story. There are people out there that feel that they're more entitled than you and feel that they don't have to do something even though you asked, because for some reason humanity has slipped between their fingers and they just care about themselves at this rate. So that's all my stories today. Tell me what you think in the comment section below, and if you have some humanity left in you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to ring that bell icon and hit that like button and share this wonderful video with other wonderful folks just like you. Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you very much for following along. And as usual, as always, my friends, stay frosty, and keep moving forward.